just searching for something outside of Portland. I was born and raised in Portland, and it was time to get out, and so we were searching for land, and we found this place. It was 2.5 acres, and we bought it for $42,000 back then in 1975, and decided to start a nursery. I did not know the difference between a primrose and pansy, and that's the truth. My ex-husband, Steve Lights, his family owned Milwaukee Floral, and he grew up in the nursery business. So we came out here and we built one greenhouse, and we used it to grow native plants and native shrubs, and just had a little retail outlet out here. So a lot of people from the old school know me as Cindy Lights, but I am now Carmen Vandemar. Eventually built 2 more greenhouses and started growing bedding pants, baskets, that sort of thing.
I would say the first memory of this place is playing on the tire swing out front and just swinging on the walnut tree.
We were stuck up taking photos around, and I was probably 3 or 4 years old, and I ended up peeing my pants, and my mom had to turn me towards her to cover up the pee in my pants. That's probably, to me, the first one.
And I definitely remember that.
We just expanded. Like I say, we had the 3 greenhouses down below that we sold nursery stock out of, and we built a greenhouse up above where we started the wreath and garland business. One of our garlands, a holly garland, was featured in the New Yorker magazine. One, we decorated the Smithsonian one year with our garlands and wreaths. By the time I started running it myself, I was the only woman in the Portland area running Christmas greens business, and I had a lot of people like Yeshitomi Brothers and a lot of the big nurseries now that came out to check out our operation of how we had the garlands hanging from the greenhouse, that the people would make them and they'd go across the table. There was a hole, and the garlands, they were 5 feet long, would go down the hole, and I'd have people in the cooler rolling them up and stacking them, and my son did a lot of it when he got of age. He's pointing to himself. Hey, what about me?
I remember below the upper greenhouse, there's a cooler area, natural cooler, and the garlands that are 75 feet long, they'd be rolled up into rolls about yay big around, and with a hole in the middle about this big, and then stacked 4 high, so they're about this tall. And they're just scattered through the whole place. And I mean, there's hundreds and hundreds of different stacks, and we played hide and seek in those.
Yeah.
So which hole did you drop down? And it's kind of like whack-a-mole almost, you know, where you pop up out of one, but
and we'd come up with cedar rashes all
so
over our arms.
When you mess with cedar, it puts these little cuts in your arms, like teeny little, and we'd come out covered with our arms red and swollen with these little teeny cuts in it, but it didn't matter because it was fun.
Yep.
And we added a cafe in the old farmhouse. We moved out of the farmhouse, we added a cafe, and it was a unique place, the only place around. It was right on the river, beautiful plants, hundreds of baskets. We had a little coffee house where we sold mostly soup, sandwiches, and pastries that we bought in. And we also ended up with a little drive-through area in the back of the farmhouse where people would drive through in the morning, and we had windows where they would order through the window. And that was a long time ago, before Starbucks, before anybody. So we got quite a few write-ups. We got put in the couple books about where to go in Oregon, that sort of thing. We were kind of like sort of famous back then.
Actually, my parents did a lot for the community. They sponsored softball. They did Old Time Country Fair. You know, we always had a float in it.
Floats, yeah.
Tweedledee, Tweedledum were my brother and cousin, and I was Alice. We had all sorts of fun.
One year we had a rafting competition down here,
I just
It
remember
just
standing on the
doesn't
bridge and like
move.
people are going underneath and we're like, woohoo, you're winning. And, you know, making a big deal about the fact that these people are in this race. And
I was the manager of a men's softball team up in West Linn, and I can't remember the bar that, but we did that for about 3 years. I was the boss. And I had all these men out there playing, and it was hilarious. So I was pretty involved with the city. My husband, Turtle Bandemar, is a well-known musician, and through him I met all the Portland musicians. And so we would start having little musical events like for Mother's Day. As we got going, we started having more of the big bands from Portland, like Linda Hornbuckle, Curtis Salgado, David Frischberg. And I started having a summer concert series every summer. And so that went on for years and years. When we closed the business, when I came back out here, when they closed the bridge, because I had no business left out here, I cut off the concert series too. But last year, because of the COVID deal and a lot of musicians not having money and losing all their gigs, I started again last year. Well, Dollar Street went all the way down out to Portland Road. So when I advertised, when I promoted it, and that's where most of the people turned. It was almost like a private driveway. They would turn at the end of the bridge and come into my place. And when they, so most of the traffic, I mean, a lot of people came down Dollar Street, but a lot more people came from the bridge area. So when they closed off the bridge, part of the ambiance of this place is we had seating outside by the river and for the coffee house and the restaurant. And when they brought in the pile drivers and the hammers and the chainsaws and all that, that kind of took away the ambiance of that. And then also when they stopped the road or cut off the road at Dollar Street, it just cut off the business because people were having to drive up Portland Road, go around Osman and come back down. And for some reason, they either couldn't figure it out or they didn't want to do it. I loved working. There would be people that would say, "Whoa, this looks like fun. What do you do for a hobby?" You know, and as my employees would leave, I would be still working, and I'm saying literally sometimes from 5 in the morning till 2 in the morning. But I loved every minute of it. I loved my flowers. I kept excellent care of them. We probably had some of the best quality flowers in Portland, and also our wreaths were all hand tied, whereas a lot are machine made now. And I just took a lot of pride in the work I did and the quality of work I did. I am thankful for the years I had out here. We're on the river. It's still a beautiful spot. We still have a little bit of music going here and there. You know, it's not what it used to be at all. I mean, it used to be covered with plants and baskets, and it was just gorgeous. I mean, just absolutely a wonderland down here. So it's, you know, it's gonna need some stuff knocked down here, you know, pretty soon. It's been here for a long time. I like living in my old cafe, you know? That's why I'm living in a restaurant, but it's kind of cute. And I got my son, Isaac, out here. He helps me up when I fall. That kind of stuff. Yeah.